Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new books, novels, comics, and video games, but let's not forget about their new Star Wars movies and the new Star Wars TV shows that are currently in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm, and exactly what they're really gearing towards in order to really make the Star Wars fandom, at least the fans that they lost, come back into the Star Wars franchise. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do make sure to post a couple of entertaining things from time to time, and also make sure to interact with you guys further. So, just a couple of days ago, alright, we got the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show trailer. A lot of fans were very happy and satisfied of what they saw. Listening to the revised version of the Duel of the Fates theme was absolutely stunning. And John Williams, I gotta say, it is fantastic that he is back for the Kenobi show. So that's number one. Number two is that everything related to their approach to the Kenobi series is that they are going to be making it very prequel trilogy-esque, and you can see those themes in the trailer. But I digress, alright? A lot of fans have been very much interested in exactly what's been going on with George Lucas, Bob Chapek, new Star Wars projects such as the new Star Wars movies and more, and exactly what's about to be unveiled for the new roadmap of the franchise, and how that's really going to change Star Wars history later down the road. Now, we already know that a lot of the canon material is going to be used later this year and into early 2023 to kind of inspire a series of new TV shows and movies out there, and to boost the familiarity of specific key characters that will be used later as well. So that leads us, of course, to exactly what's happening behind the scenes between George Lucas and, of course, Disney CEO Bob Chapek when it involves the new Star Wars films that are currently in the early development phase as we speak. So, moving on, of course, from that, given that creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are currently focused on their new Star Wars TV shows such as Mando Season 3 and the Ahsoka series, it's best described that recently George Lucas and Bob Chapek had another meeting about the new Star Wars trilogy, also simply known as the Fourth Trilogy, that will focus on a brand new era for Star Wars fans to witness around the world. Now, it's described that they recently came to an agreement to hire actress Elizabeth Olsen from the MCU for the Star Wars movies that will involve her as one of the new Royal Sith characters in the series of movies. Now, further, it's described that Olsen's Sith character is going to be deeply based on the one, of course, by George Lucas and his original villain idea for the prequel trilogy that never made it to the films, and that George Lucas will be handling the development of this character in the new trilogy of movies, given that it will be based on his original design and ideas. So, let me just pause there for 1 second. Now, the fact that they are going to be using George Lucas's original ideas of a specific female Sith Lord that was supposed to be used in either episode 1, 2, or 3, and how that is now going to be implemented into this new Star Wars trilogy that is known as the Fourth Trilogy, that's going to focus on the forbidden region of the galaxy. We'll get into that a little bit in a second. Now, this new era of Star Wars takes place in between the Old Republic and the High Republic era. It's going to be its own little thing. It's going to be in its own sphere, if you will. And a lot of fans out there are very much intrigued about what's going on with all these different eras and how they all fit together. So, moving past all of this, currently the character is codenamed Lady Empress, and will sport a deep black outfit that is said to be very near similar to Dark Rey's from The Rise of Skywalker. Lady Empress is said to have black hair with white streaks, and will also wield a lightsaber that is near similar to Dark Rey's from the Episode 9 movie. Lady Empress is said to wield a tuning forked saber that folds out into a double-bladed saber just like Maul's, which lends many similarities to Dark Rey's design. However, this character is described to come from a royal Sith family that will be explored in the new trilogy within the forbidden region of the galaxy, which will be a newly added area right near the unknown regions of the galaxy in Star Wars. Elizabeth Olsen is described to meet with Bob Chapek again by the end of April to discuss further plans about these new films, as they are getting ready to announce them to the fans later this year. Disney's plan is to bring in many actors and/or actresses into Star Wars that are already affiliated or have been in the past with Disney. Alright, so you can see that this has been a common trend. If you guys look very carefully, there's a lot of character actors and or actresses that are already in Disney movies that have made their way into Star Wars, and we're seeing more and more of that. That's becoming a bigger trend lately with current projects and already planned projects on the roadmap. But the other thing is this: we also have a lot of Game of Thrones actors and or actresses affiliated with Star Wars. You know, you got Emilia Clarke, Gwendolyn Christie, Pedro Pascal. I mean, that's 3 alone right there, you know, right off the bat. So that's their overall common trend, is that they are getting a lot of those affiliated with Game of Thrones and those that are already affiliated or have been before in the past with Disney. A lot of which already have been, and that's going to become a more, you know, common trend. And I think that that's because they want to really kind of lend themselves to actors that they have already worked with. Now, further, Olsen is a prime example of that plan by Disney's higher-ups, given that she is a part of the MCU. Olsen is said to have been a Star Wars fan at heart and is truly excited to have been chosen as Lady Empress in the new trilogy that will take place in between the Old and High Republic eras. Elizabeth Olsen's character is also described to be a character that holds deep connections to the story of the origin of the Sith and how that will be told in the new movies by Disney. Now, Bob Chapek wants to make sure that these movies will impress many fans around the globe, and to make them the darkest Star Wars films in history. Now, Lucasfilm's creators are also set and ready to announce and reveal this new Sith character in the Disney canon by the end of this year for new books and comics to release in 2023, in order to really make fans familiar with Olsen's character that she will play in the new movies. It's something that George has always wanted to bring to life in a Star Wars film, as this is a Sith character that was meant to be in Episode 3 with the prequels. So, I want to actually go over something that I think is going to be crucial to the story of the Sith. Now, this character, codenamed, and I say codenamed because it's not the official character name, but Lady Empress is going to have a connection, a deep root to the origin of the Sith. Now, not that she's necessarily the origin of the Sith, but she's going to hold connections to the story of the origin of the Sith. So it's very likely that this connects to what we talked about a couple of months ago of how they are planning to incorporate flashbacks to the origins of that in these new movies, and it could very well be told through Olsen's character, and that would make a lot more sense. Now, when you think about it this way, it seems like that flashbacks are going to become a very common trend in Star Wars. This all really started with Rian Johnson, you know, in The Last Jedi, and that was probably the only highlight in The Last Jedi in my book, even though I really do not like that movie at all. That's pretty much the only highlight that there was, is that we got to see, you know, Luke Skywalker, you know, and Ben Solo. That was basically it. But when you look at everything related to flashbacks in The Mandalorian, flashbacks in the Book of Boba Fett, and now we're going to be getting that also in the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show, in the Ahsoka series, and now in new Star Wars movies, it's going to become a new trend. Flashbacks are going to be a way for Disney to explore different eras simultaneously within a different era. And that's a very smart move on their part, because it sets things up for sure. So, like I say, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.